Bitcoin becoming a reserve asset is another promise by President Trump that has been kept, which is amazing. I'm wondering at what point we will stop being surprised by the man actually keeping his election promises. As a former politician, I understand skepticism towards politicians, but he keeps on delivering on his promises, which is great. Now, did I have it on my bingo card that other assets would make it in this first round of reserve creation? Certainly not. I was surprised to see some of assets that are owned by private companies, developed by private companies, make it into that. But it shows you that this administration deeply cares about cryptos. So exciting times ahead.
Indeed, and with the likes of David Sachs in command and control here, you also get the sense that the development of this space is likely to continue and perhaps even become more legitimized under President Trump. So we have to watch and wait to see what happens next here. Antoni, just on the price reaction, I want your take on this as well, because obviously we saw markets surging on this news. Do you think this is just the continuation of what could be a short-term hype cycle, or is this the kickoff of a new bull run for Bitcoin and others here?
I think we have been in a raging bull market since last August at the very latest. And during bull markets in crypto, corrections of 25 up to 40% are definitely the norm. We have seen this in 2017, 2020. So this is nothing unusual. Still, we are still in a bull market. This was a correction that quite frankly, was dramatically oversold. I went long on my personal account this Friday when we were trading sub 80K on Bitcoin. So to me, this doesn't come as a surprise. And, we now have a supporter of crypto assets in the White House. So I think the bull run will continue.
It also changes the landscape for these assets, in particular Bitcoin. Now that we have the US essentially stockpiling Bitcoin like gold, do you think other countries are going to follow suit to stay competitive here? That could have significant impacts for this market.
Yes, I think so. I think that once the US leads the way, lots of countries will follow suit. We have seen some of the sovereign wealth funds out of the Middle East already outright purchasing assets, and this will only pick up now that the US is leading the way. And I think two things are very important here. One is that, the regulatory clampdown by the previous US administration is coming to an end. We see lots of different lawsuits being dropped and legal enforcements coming to an end. So this is all well and good, but we need step number two, which would be the regulatory clarity of how we actually drive innovation and build businesses out in the US. And I'm super hopeful that this Friday's crypto summit at the White House will lead the way here in kicking off the debate around how we actually go about doing this second very important step.
The regulatory question is an interesting one because it seems as if the US is also moving ahead of the regulatory curve here, essentially setting up this stockpile before some of the framework of that legislation is in place. Antoni, just before I let you go, where does this leave your year-end price target for Bitcoin? Are we going to see this moving higher from this point on? I know you mentioned you were long in your personal portfolio. Where do you see Bitcoin trending from here?
Well, I called last year for 100K. This has happened. Now everybody's pressuring me for the next forecast. I think 150 is realistic. I wouldn't go like crazy in the predictions here. We had a very significant run up already. So, I would advise caution. If you do not have any exposure, use the corrections which will come to accumulate some, and be in it for the long run. Good times are here to stay for crypto.